Hey guys, I thought that I would do another feminism video because it's just what I felt like doing. And I know that I said I was stepping away from that stuff, but feminism is really peeing me off these days, especially with a lot of videos and all this kind of stuff going around. Now recently in Sydney there was a case where this barber had basically told a woman, I am not comfortable with doing women's cuts because I am not trained in them. Now the barbering course is strictly usually men's haircuts, whereas in hairdressing you cover men's haircuts, women's haircuts, like short, long, all that kind of stuff, hair colouring, perming, chemical treatments, extensions sometimes. And so the barbering course and the hairdressing course are two different things. Now this dude, this poor unfortunate dude said, look, I do not really feel comfortable doing women's haircuts. There's a hairdressing salon down the road. We are not a hairdressing salon, which is fine. But the problem was that the woman was a lawyer and she was like, I'm going to get you for sexual discrimination and embarrassing my daughter. So basically this dude went in to, like, he was at work just having a nice day, lovely day, all that kind of stuff. This woman walks in and says all that to her, that she's going to sue him and all that. So the problem with this is that women's haircuts and men's haircuts typically tend to be two different services, and that's why we have two sets of prices, because women tend to need more expensive products. Men's hair product ingredients versus women's hair product ingredients are two different things basically, and women's hair product ingredients require a lot more products in them, or probably higher quality products, because men tend to get their hair cut more, so women actually don't need to get their hair cut as much, so they need their hair to last them. Whereas men's products aren't designed for lasting, they're designed for styling. So when it comes to hair, the actual haircut services, women typically have something like this, right? They have like a little bit of length as a general statement, right? Yes, there are women who have shorter hair and there are men who have longer hair. But if we could categorize two different things, men's haircuts and women's haircuts, the first thing that usually comes to mind is long hair for women's, short hair for men's. Now, with barbering, it's usually things like scissor over comb. So you'll get your scissors and you'll have your razor, or and your comb and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's just like a lot of, it's different techniques. Whereas women's haircuts, you'll get like a comb, right? And you'll just put this up, put this at all different angles, trim it like that. Like, it's a lot, it's a different technique completely towards like men's haircuts. So with women's haircuts also, like men, you tend to have to focus more on the shampooing part, right? And leave the conditioner in for very little, or even just no conditioner at all. With women's haircuts, you have to full-blown go in there with the shampoo, then you have to full-blown massage with the conditioner, bring the conditioner to the ends. It's a lot more work at the basin, and trust me, I know, I've worked there. And with women's haircuts and stuff like that, they tend to also require blow drying. They tend to require like hot irons a lot of the time. You even have to use a lot of serums and stuff like that, whereas with men, you just get like a wax and just fluff the hair around a bit, sort of thing. So it's sort of like two completely different services, if you can tell. So there's two completely different educations, to the point where my hairdressing book, which is over here somewhere, actually has in it a men's haircut section and a women's haircut section. Now, barbers are not qualified to cut women's hair. This is something a lot of people don't realize. They're only qualified to cut a certain hairstyle, pretty much. They're not qualified to cut women's hair. They focus on doing things like learning intricate shaves and stuff like that, being able to do designs and all that, but they're not going to be able to achieve something like this because it's not in their scope of practice. And this woman is suing this guy for saying, I cannot legally cut your daughter's hair. So I have a huge problem with that, so I figured I'd just do a little bit of a video on it and put out my opinions, since I have been in the hairdressing industry for a good part of 10 years, whether it be a shampoo girl or an apprentice or even just a manager. I was managing a salon at one point, so I've actually got a bit under my experience. Yes, I do need to complete my qualification, but I've been in salons and seen firsthand what builds a salon together. And we've even hired barbers at the salon, one of the salons I used to work at. We hired a barber. She could not cut women's hair. We had a hairstylist who was not confident in cutting men's hair, so she said, no, I can't cut your hair because you're a man and your hair's too short for me to cut. She wasn't confident in it. She was better at doing things like this. So in the end, if you don't have the skill set, you're actually better off saying, no, I can't do your hair if you don't have the skill set, because if you don't have the skill set and you fuck it up, then all hell breaks loose. Okay, anyway, I will leave it at that.